This is a DJ Abomination remix.
What up, nerds? Welcome to Movies and Shows with Comics and Pops, and we're going to be reviewing Demon Slayer Mugen Train. And I am super excited for today's guests. I mean, I have Los Hermanos right here. We have Erik and Steve, and you know what? This is Erik's first time being on a podcast. Erik, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, you guys definitely made me feel comfortable. A little nervous, you know, but I think, you know, we're talking Demon Slayer here. So, I mean, that's comfortable enough for me.
That's right, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah. And Steve, how are things going with you, man? How's your Tuesday?
Oh, Tuesday is doing great, man. I woke up last night, went to check Demon Slayer out yet again to just try to soak it in. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right. So let's do quick shout outs to the folks that are listening or are in the live chat. We got TM Nerdy. What's going on, dude? HK Wifey and Rudy. What is going on, everyone? Thank you for joining us.
Up, Rude?
So let's just get started. Erik, you've read the manga. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we're introduced to the main protagonist by the name of Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko. And he's just on a journey now to basically turn his sister Nezuko back into a human. In order to do that, which is, from what we know, is an impossible task, but he's going to take it on. He's got to become a demon slayer. And so he trains up and he passes the final selection, the test that, basically dubs you a demon slayer. And along the way, he meets a couple of, fellow slayers that are, just different branches, I guess you could say, or different styles. One of them is Zenitsu. I think that's the first demon slayer brethren that they meet. And he's the Breath of Lightning. And then along the way, they meet another slayer by the name of Inosuke, who's the Breath of the Beast. And they just kind of journey on. And, as they're, making their way forward, they're fighting, high level demons until they get to basically their biggest challenge by the name of Ruhi, who's a spider, kind of like demon, webs and that sort of thing. And he's no ordinary demon. He's an upper level demon. So an upper moon, or lower level moon, I'm sorry. And he really puts them to the test. And so after defeating him, they get put on trial for, having a demon as a sister slayer. They're, kind of don't mix and match, but they pass this from the master, the test. And so then it just takes them to what we're seeing now, all the hype about the Mugen Train. So that's where we pick up.
Wow. So you know what? It really sounds like the manga and the anime are just toe to toe, right? They're like lockstep.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference. I feel there's maybe some little minor dialogues, that are kind of exiting out. Maybe some more kind of into like graphic, but other than that, I feel like they stayed true to the manga. They paired it very well. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is awesome. And we got a couple more people here on the chat. What's going on, Fable? And what's going on, Chamaro and Cryo Prime? How you guys doing? Thank you for joining us.
Fellas?
What's going on, man? Thank you, guys.
Steve, I mean, would you agree with your brother about the anime? I mean, can you tell us a little bit about the anime itself for Demon Slayer?
Oh, man, the anime is a masterful journey through Tanjiro's eyes. It's a tearjerker. It's one that you want to cheer for. The thing about Japanese anime is they know how to set the tone, whether it's the music, the animation that's playing with it, and then the storyline. They really get brand new, content as they put out. And the best thing about it, man, is it towards the end of that journey, I mean, you're seeing them progress. They are being pushed to the limit. Erik the Phoenix Hermano said they're being put through trial. You know, they're going through their greatest achievements and training to get better, and then they're given a task. You know, they are found into what we know is the Mugen Train. They're, you know, sent out. You know, they're replenished and ready to go.
Wow. So you're telling me that the manga itself and also the anime, they are exactly the same. So if I were to a new viewer, right? What do you? I mean, I'm not missing out on anything, right?
No, you're actually, it seems as though that you're actually getting more of a, you know, if you're a visual person, I feel like the anime is definitely something that you just kind of want to pick up, because the animation that they put behind this, behind the breaths and their style, really is something to be said. It's amazing.
Okay. So before we get into the movie, I want to know actually, what is your favorite characters of the series so far? And I want to know, after you've seen the movie or experienced the Mugen Train, if your initial reaction is still the same about that character. So let's start off with Erik. Erik, who is your favorite character and why?
So as we're going with the mains, I mean, it's hard to top Tanjiro, the protagonist. I mean, he's I feel like the way he's written, I mean, he just displays a certain level of compassion for these demons that he's having to slay, you know, which is, for me, it's definitely something that's different from what a hero is. You know, the good versus evil, you just kind of demolish the evil ones and then that's it. But he feels something emotionally in there for them. And he, you know, says a little prayer for them. And, you know, he just is someone that is just overcoming adversity. You know, he's just a beautiful character all as a whole.
Nice. And Steve, do you share the same character as your brother?
Yeah. I mean, even into the movie, my second character would be Rengoku. Shout out to No Good Comics. But Tanjiro, it's very hard to top Tanjiro, man, because like ErikThePhoenix is saying, he's a very compassionate person. You learn a lot more as you get into the Mugen Train about who he is. The level of empathy there is just grand. It's a grandioso thing of, as far as a high note to what a samurai is. You know, I mean, before we even get to the Mugen Train, he's at a point where he's going to slay a demon, but he can see the demon atoning for what she's done, and he's going to come down on her with a swift, you know, like slash. But he sees that she's willing, and he changes his breath, and it's a slash of raindrops. And the demon says, you know, I've never felt death like this, so warm and compassionate. And she knows what she's done. I think that's a real tear-jerking, you know, scene, because you could see the level of compassion and the empathy, but you still see the samurai code of you know, honor.
Oh, I get it. For me, my favorite character is actually Inosuke. I mean, I love him. Like, he's just like balls to the wall. I mean, he's the guy that you want, you know, at your back. I mean, he will take down any and everything, and he's not afraid. And I like that aspect of that character, how he's just willing to rush into danger and just like take it upon himself. And I like the fact that he's also willing to fight everybody just to see how strong he is. I'm like, this guy just brings the comedy over and over. Like, I love it.
You can't even remember their names.
Yeah, he's a brute. He's a brute, man, you know, and a good looking one at that.
Oh, he's very, I know. It's like, that's why he wears the boar's hat, or the boar's like helmet or mask. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, people won't take him serious.
He's so handsome. He's so handsome.
He's a
all right, guys. Thank you for kind of breaking down the manga and also the anime. So let's just get right to it. Tell me about, and I'll leave it up to you guys, tell me about Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train.
Erik, do you want to take it away and set us up?
Well, yeah. So, you know, the story takes off after they've had already been on trial with the master. They get tasked with going on this mission to defeat see what's going on with this train. They kind of have word of what's going on. They know that Muzan is kind of hot on Tanjiro's tail, so they're basically using him as like, all right, we're going to try to fish him out. And so they're journeying on, and what's kind of cool about this is they're slaying demons, but you can kind of still get a little bit of a feel like they're still that genuine kids, because they're kind of stoked about being on a train. Like they haven't seen any technology like that, no higher end stuff. They're living on villages and stuff like that. So that's right. Yeah. So as soon as they get up in there, they're just like, oh, like this is it. And so they kind of sense, like, especially Tanjiro with his sense of smell, kind of already senses that something's wrong, but they do get a surprise guest that's on the train. I mean, and everybody knows that it's our man Rengoku. And so he's kind of been also tasked to see what's going on, just in case it gets super fishy in there, higher level stuff. So, they encounter him, and he just has that little bit of a bonding experience with the younger Slayers, because since he's kind of like their senior. And so, then things kind of take off from there. And Steve, I know you just recently saw the flick, so I want to see what you got, man.
All right. So as we are getting into the Mugen train, there is already a setup. They punch their tickets, and that is the immediate setup for what happens to all four of them. All four of them. So once the conductor punches the ticket, it's smeared with the demon slayers, the demon's blood. They're immediately into a slumber, and they go into these dreams of theirs. Zenitsu with Nezuko, like the belittled fool that he is. Initsuki leading the pack and saying, "I'm the leader." But you get to see, you get to see Rengoku, and Rengoku's dream is not even a dream. It's what really happens in his life. He becomes a pillar of this higher samurai organization known as the Demon Corps. His father used to be a Demon Corps, but does not show any love to him, does not even acknowledge, and is just further away from caring from him.
Wow.
And
just the quick pause. So you get a lot of like more character emphasis, right, in those dreams, right? It seems like it.
You get so much more character building in these dreams that you get a really they become your favorite character, so you build a relationship with them as you're going along. So the messed up thing is with Rengoku, he's a loving brother. He's already lost his mother, and his mother has always said, you're a really good son, always stay strong, and those who have power should fight, for others, because they have that power. And then you go slip into Tanjiro's dream, and Tanjiro's dream, he has already witnessed what we come to know in the first episode is a massacre. Demons have murdered his family, so he's going into that scene, but his family is there. And he's like second guessing everything. He's like, what's going on? And he bursts into tears. He's, in sorrow, and that's another tearjerker. And, the family gets back together, but in some sort of aspect, he's trying to put the pieces together. And you kind of highlight the demon that is on the train, giving orders to these four kids that are, sickly, and he's just using them as chess pieces. And he's tying them up into like a rope that he's put a spell on, so that these kids can evade their dream and take what's called their life force, their soul. Yeah. So once this is done, they're going into the dream, they're getting hypnotized, and they're inside the dream. They can see one of the girls that is tasked to kill Rengoku is at the end of his dream, goes to where his life force is at. But because Rengoku is so resourceful and such a stud, just grabs that chick by the neck and just chokes her like a real G should, And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But and then
no, I don't.
You should try it.
Yeah, it just shows you the level of the level where the pillars are at. Mentally, physically. I mean, their whole skill set is just on a whole nother level. So no one's going to penetrate his life force.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, penetrate his life force. That's it. Hey, man.
Yeah,
We're just
hey,
gonna keep
Steve,
on moving.
go ahead, Steve.
We're just, so we get into Tanjiro's dream, and Tanjiro starts to just kind of slowly put the pieces together. He's going into this stream and sees himself, and then he's telling himself, "Wake up! You need to wake up. There's a demon on the train." And he's trying to figure out how to do it. While this other child is at the end of his life force, his father comes in and, like in a gust of snow, and tells him, like, you need to pick your blade up, and you need to do use your blade. Basically telling him, in order for you to get out of the stream, you need to commit suicide. While he's doing that, though, this child is in his dream and looking for his life force. But as he's looking for the life force, he finds a sense of warmth. You get to see who Tanjiro really is. A very compassionate person, honorable and caring. And instead of destroying that life force, he's just smutted in tears because he witnesses what Tanjiro's loss and things that he's seen in his journey. As we get into this, Tanjiro finally wakes up out of it. He just commits suicide. He gets up, and Nezuko is there. His sister has not been touched. She's trying to wake him. He tells Nezuko, "I'm going to get to the train, try and wake these fools up." And in comes the action. He gets on the top of the train, the Mugen train. Mm-hmm. He can smell where the demon's at because he has a keen sense of smell. That's one of the things that he has. And he meets the train at the front of the train with the demon, and they're at a standoff. And the demon has some arts that he uses to his advantage, and his is sleep. So as Tanjiro, as Erik was saying, they have fire breathing, and Tanjiro uses water technique. And so he's using his breathing. He's, putting these sessions together with his sword, and he comes out with the most it's called total concentration, and it's a water dragon. And he's using that water dragon, and he cuts the head off of that demon, but the demon is so strong that it's embedded itself within the train. So they don't really know where its head's at. You have to cut its head off and behead it in order to win. And in comes Inosuke finally. You're a big brute.
That's right. It's time to shine right there.
My man right here.
That's it, man. So this demon has been trying to do a number on Tanjiro and try to put him to sleep, and Tanjiro just keeps committing suicide to break out of that dream. So this demon is impressed. He's like, "What is wrong with this kid? He's so resourceful." Inosuke is using his breathing technique of beast and slashing through the layers of the train and the skin and everything like that. And in this whole scape, you get pans of Zenitsu coming into the fray, helping Nezuko, because Nezuko's fighting off these demons that are trying to kill the people that are on the train. And Zenitsu just cuts through the 2 train cars with his lightning technique. You then see stud, man. You then see Rengoku walk in, and he's like, "I'm a bit ashamed that I've been asleep, and it's time for me to come into the fray and help." And he cuts through like 5 train carts with his breathing technique, and because he's like a pillar, right? So he's the top of the samurai and fire breathing. The techniques are beautiful. The animation is every bit that you would think of. The motion, the piece, the music, you're there and you're just like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?"
Man, I'm feeling it, Steve. I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
but I don't want you to ruin the end because I want people to go watch the movie.
We got to highlight. We got to give my man though.
Oh, really? All right, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay, so as we learned that at the very end, at the very end of every battle, someone has to take a fall. They defeat a demon, and but the train goes off the rails. Okay, and we have a bit of a moment where you're thinking it's ending, and you're thinking, great, they're helping the people out. Like, we're gonna get a happy ending. You're gonna jump up and throw a yatta, like in
That's
Japanese.
Right.
Yeah, relief sets in, but little do they know.
Yeah, little do they know they are greeted by one of the 3 upper moons. And
Yeah.
man, yeah, spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah.
If you guys want to mute us,
That's all.
I would say right now.
Spoilers, Luke. Yeah, something wrong. That's right, baby. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're going to be confronted with another, another villain that is, definitely going to set up disaster for the crew. So,
all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I mean, without giving stuff away. I mean, because there's going to be some surprise. There's a surprise, that's there and stuff. But it's from what I've seen, and I've hadn't gotten the chance to actually see the movie, but I read the manga, and I think just the influence that it has is definitely impactful in reading it as well.
Wow. Okay, so I know like the movie has tugged on a lot of people's heartstrings. I mean, Steve, you saw it multiple times. I mean, did you cry the first time you saw it? I mean, I'm hearing so many great things about it.
Oh yeah, dude. There's at least 4 tear-jerking scenes while you're watching it, because again, you're witnessing his dream. You've taken the journey with him through the anime to know that he's in grief and he blames himself, and that hurts because you're just like he has to run away from his dream because his family's there. They're trying to suck him back in, and make him relive what is not real, and that hurts because he's running away from his family and they're calling for him and he knows it's not true, and he's like and you get this dialogue of him saying, I'll never forget you guys, and I'll always blame myself, and like it, and he's like, but we'll see each other again, and that's really heartwarming. It's tear jerking at the same, because if you're a family person, the dynamic of brother and sister, or even brother with brother. I mean, you only have those type of best friends that you have, right? You have other friends outside of it, but with your family, the thing that was always said to us is you only have one brother. And he'll always be by your side. So when you look at these animes, you always just you're thinking that's exactly how I feel about my family, and what you're in, and it's basically your code, right? It's your code. Sure. It's your way.
I do have a question for you, Steve, and also for you too, Eric, if you
Sure.
can. I know a lot of times when the anime comes to the theaters, it's not the same animators and it's not the same voice cast. Did you feel like this anime was at the same tier or the same level as the movie, or as the anime? Do you feel like the movie was the same? So you're not skipping a beat?
You're not skipping a beat at all. Even more so, I would say the animation, they heightened the animation. It's more top tier. The train looks like it's out there. The trees are evergreen. So I mean, it really puts you in there through that journey and through that movie. I mean, it's the most epic movie. I mean, the most tear-jerking movie. You will cry at the very end for sure. If you're a warrior, spirited person, and you've trained martial arts and you have a essence for that, man, it's gonna get you for sure.
So if you've known sacrifice or known just anything like that, you're gonna feel it emotionally. This is great, man. I love it. So. After watching the movie and also with Eric, after reading everything, I mean, has your feelings changed about any of the characters? I mean, is Tanjiro still your favorite, or do you feel like, you kind of gravitate a little bit more towards a different Demon Slayer?
Well, to me, honestly, I feel that I have a innate pull. I mean, Tanjiro is definitely a little bit more stronger, but I also feel it's because of where his roots began. And I am a fan of Yurokutaki Sensei, his teacher, and so I feel like they are very similar in terms of how they are, even down to like their sense of smell. They have something like that in common as well. So, and just the fact that he's kind of willing to train like the next generation, but he also has a soft spot for that generation, and so I feel like I got a little senior citizen in myself. You know what I mean? So I like the master. I do like Yurokutaki.
Gotcha. And Steve, do you echo the same as your brother?
Well, after watching the movie, man, I had something for Rengoku, the pillar, you know, in that movie, dude, because it really showcased who he was
Nice.
as a person and as a warrior, man. Like that, the ending was just epic. I mean, he just really dug deep, and even you know, the person that he's fighting with says like I have never felt this fighting spirit. You know, like
Wow.
it like heightens. You see, like just the emphasis and the way they set the tone for everything. You know, we always talk about like, I mean, if you guys were watching like Marvel's Phase 4 and you heard Stan Lee talking, that brought a tear to your eye. Think about animes though, like they're constant. Like they really know how to set the tone with music, down to the animation, down to the storyline, and it's more, you know, reminiscent to a person, I think.
Okay.
So for me, it was Rengoku.
Yeah. All right. So I have a question for you before we kind of wrap things up. What grade would you give this film? And also, too, would you recommend it to like a diehard anime fan, or would you recommend it to like an average Joe? I mean, let me hear your take.
You know, I would definitely recommend it to my anime buffs, man, for sure. I mean, I think Erik would agree. If you've watched
100%.
several different animes, this is going to be like the top tier. We're always looking for the best anime as they keep putting them out. So, this is one of them. So, I would give the movie like an A+, man. I mean, it was just epic from beginning to end. There was really no, you know, 5 rolling heads, my man, something wrong, you know, for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, it was a epic.
All right, and so you would highly recommend it. What about for just like somebody off the street? I mean, would you recommend this movie, or they need to have this backstory?
They would need to have the backstory for sure, I would say. Erik, talk to him.
For me, I feel no. I would say for in terms of action and fighting sequence and stuff, if you're in it for that and just kind of enjoy the animation aspect of it and just kind of don't really care about the character themselves, just what they do and their actions and how they fight. I think that the movie did a great job in that. And, you know, if you like action scenes, you like fighting, you know, that sort of thing, I would say, yeah, I would recommend that movie for sure.
Okay, great. I know I really want to see it. I just haven't had the time. But based on what you guys have talked about, I kind of feel like I have. But I want to know what happens to that spoiler or that ending. I'm kind of looking forward to it. So, Erik, before we kind of log off, is there any parting words? And also, too, where can we find you?
So you could find me on Instagram and Twitch, ErikThePhoenix. I'm not as active on Twitch. I am just kind of newly-ish into it. So, you know, just doing some indie games and Mario Kart. So if you, if you Mario Kart, you know, get at me on there. You know, you could ask me for my friend code on Instagram and I'll card it up.
Let's do
it. Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
And of course we know where to find Steve, right?
You know, your boys right here with the Team Nerd Herd podcast and under HipHopsNMe _comics_collectibles coming at you.
All right, guys. And just FYI, we have JR, aka Rogue Slaw, going to be on Justin's show in just 2 minutes. So I'm posting the link in the chat. I want you guys to head on over. It's going to be great. They are going to be talking about Key Collector and whether or not Key Collector is helping the community or not. So I'm definitely gonna jump on there and check it out. I think it's gonna be a great show. And I mean, come on, you got Justin, you got Morbius, and you got JR. I mean, that's an all-star lineup, man.
That's a 3 of a kind right there, brother. 3 of a kind.
That's right. That's right. All right. And Erik, since you're new to the show and new to this YouTube world of podcasting, do you want to set us out?
Oh, man, it'd be my pleasure, man. You guys already know the motto. If you want to do it right, collect what you like.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.